Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for attending today's seminar. As we begin the seminar, let us express our gratitude and appreciation to the Buddha. Namman doubts, namman doubts, namman doubts, namman doubts, namman doubts, namman doubts. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome all of you, for both in-person attendees and also Zoom attendees. Today's seminar is hosted by the Gardena Buddhist Church, Venice Honganji Buddhist Temple, and the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple. And today's seminar, I wish to focus on the Shoshinge, written by our founder, Shinran Shonin. And first, I'd like to introduce the Shoshinge. What is Shoshinge? As you know, the Shoshinge is most widely chanted among the Jodo Shinshu followers, and especially this year marks the establishment of Jodo Shinshu school. So I'd like to focus on the Shoshinge this afternoon. And what is Shoshinge? It was composed by Shinran Shonin. Shinran Shonin is the founder of Jodo Shinshu School. He was born on May 21st, 1173, and passed away on January 16th, 1263. And in 1224, Shinran Shonin completed the first draft of his major work, The True Teaching, Practice, and Realization of the Pure and Way. It is called Kyogyo Shinsho. And the Jodo Shinshu Honganji-ha regards Shinran Shonin, who revealed the essential teaching of the primal vow of Amida Buddha and the name of the Buddha in his writing, Kyogyo Shinsho, as its founder, and the completed year as the founding year. So this year marks 800th anniversary of founding of Jodo Shinshu School. And this is a Kyogyo Shinsho written by Shinran Shonin, everything written in the Chinese character. And this has 6 volumes, 6 chapters. Chapter on teaching, practice, shinjin, realization, the true Buddha unlearned, transform Buddha bodies and lands. And Shoshinge is written at the end of this chapter, chapter on practice. And Shoshinge is composed of 120 lines in 60 verses, which summarize the essence of Kyogyo Shinsho, which is the fundamental writing of Shinran Shonin. And this is a Kyogyo Shinsho chapter on practice at the end. And Shoshinge is written at the very end of this chapter, over here. Kimyo Muryo Jinyorai Namo Fuka Shigi Ko. And Shinran Shonin wrote a preface to the Shoshinge in the chapter on practice of Kyogyo Shinsho. He said, taking refuge in the true words of the great sage and turning to the commentaries of the revered patriarchs, I realized the depth and vastness of the Buddha's benevolence and composed the following hymn. Then he wrote Shoshinge. And in this saying, Shinran Shonin said, great sage, the great sage. Great sage means Shakyamuni Buddha. And the true words mean the Raja Sutra, written by, expanded by Shakyamuni Buddha. And why did Shinran Shonin compose Shoshinge? It is to express gratitude to the Buddha's benevolence. And also, it is to respond in gratitude to the Buddha's virtue. So Shinran Shonin wrote the reason why he composed Shoshinge in the preface. It is to express his joy and gratitude for encountering the teaching of Amida Buddha's primal vow, the Raja Sutra. And what is the official title of Shoshinge? We always call Shoshinge. This is the title written in Chinese. This is called Shoshin Nembutsuge. This is the official title of Shoshinge. In English, we call Hymn of True Shinjin and the Nembutsu. And the meaning of Shoshinge. Shoshin Nembutsuge. Shoshin means true Shinjin. It is entrusting to Amida Buddha's primal vow without any doubts. And Shoshin Nembutsu. Nembutsu means recitation of the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, in gratitude. And Ge means hymn. This is the meaning of Shoshin Nembutsuge. And there are two meanings of the title, Shoshin Nembutsuge. First, hymn for revealing true Shinjin and the Nembutsu. And also second meaning is the hymn for truly entrusting to Nembutsu. So there are two meanings of the title, Shoshin Nembutsuge. And Shinran Shonin used the word ki in the preface and also at the very beginning of Shoshinge to show his two reasons. As you know, he wrote Kimyo Muryo Junyorai, this character, Ki. Ki means taking refuge in the true words of Shakyamuni Buddha as seven masters. So it is to show his awareness of the Buddha's benevolence. And second, the ki means returning, kairu. So the entire Shoshinge is addressed by Shinran Shonin to express his gratitude and appreciation to Amida Buddha and Shakyamuni Buddha, who taught us where we should return to, our true spiritual home. That's the reason why he often used this character, ki, in the Shoshinge. So Shinran Shonin composed Shoshinge because of those two reasons, especially to express gratitude and appreciation to the Buddha's benevolence. And this is the structure of Shoshinge. Shoshinge is divided into two parts. The first is called Ekkyodan, which means the hymn was composed based on the Raja Sutra. Taking refuge in the true words of Shakyamuni Buddha, Shinran Shonin said in the preface of Shoshinge. The other is called Eshakudan, which means that the hymn was composed based on the commentaries of the seven masters. All the temple has an extra room, and we hang the seven master scroll. So he, based on the larger sutra, first Shinran Shonin expressed his appreciation of his Shinjin, Kimyo Muryo Jinyorai Namo Fukashi Niko. These two lines summarize entire Shoshin-e and also Kyogyo Shinsho. Then he wrote about the Amida Buddha's primal vow, its origin and fulfillment. Then Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching. And on him, based on the seven masters, he wrote about the transmission of the teaching, how teaching was transmitted. It is from India, China, and Japan. Then exhortation by Shinran Shonin. This is a structure of Shoshin-e. And this is the seven masters. Nagarjuna from India, two masters from India. Vasubandhu from India. Then three Chinese masters. Tanran, Tao Chou, and Shantao. Then two teachers from Japan, Genshin and Genku. So Genku is the Honen Shonin, who is the teacher of our founder, Shinran Shonin. So Nagarjuna is from India, and Vasubandhu from the area close to Pakistan. We have three Chinese masters, Tanran, Tao Chou, and Shantao, and two teachers from Japan, Genshin and Genku. These are the seven masters who transmitted to the teachings, Jodo Shinshu teaching. And why did Shinran Shonin select those seven masters from many eminent monks? There are so many monks in this world, but Shinran Shonin selected particularly those seven masters. But Shinran Shonin didn't clearly show the criteria for the selection of the seven masters. However, these 3 points have been traditionally pointed out. First, one who aspired to be born in Amida Buddha's parent by Amida Buddha's primal vow. A second reason, one who clarified Amida's primal vow in written form. All seven masters have their own commentary to support Amida's primal vow. And lastly, one who revealed new and unique thoughts about the Buddha's primal vow in the Pyaran tradition. So if you look at these 3 points carefully, you may realize how important Amida Buddha's primal vow is for Shinran Shonin. And this is a saying of Shinran Shonin written in the preface of Kyogyo Shinsho. How joyous I am, Gutoku Shinran, disciple of Shakyamuni. Rare is it to come upon the sacred scriptures from the westward land of India and the commentaries of the masters of China and Japan, but now I have been able to encounter them. Rare is it to hear them, but already I have been able to hear, reverently entrusting myself to the teaching, practice, and realization that are the true essence of the Pyaran Way. I'm especially aware of the profundity of the Tathagata's benevolence. Here I rejoice in what I have heard and extol what I have attained. So Shinran Shonin expressed his joy and gratitude to receive the Buddha Dharma from Shakyamuni Buddha and seven masters in the preface of Kyogyo Shinsho. And probably many of you have a chance to chant Shoshin-e. Shoshin Nembutsuge or Shoshin-e or hymn of true Shinjin, and the Nembutsu is widely chanted among Jodo Shinshu followers. And when we chant this Shoshin-e, we're supposed to chant Shoshin-e every morning, the soft style daily morning service. And Gyofu style, the Shinran Shonin passed away on January 16th. So each month on the 16th, we're supposed to chant Shoshin-e in the Gyofu melody. And also, actual Memorial Day, January 16th, the Shimp style Shoshin-e is chanted by followers of Shinran Shonin. And also, as you know, at the funeral service, we chant Shoshin-e without any rhythms. So probably you know what is a Shoshin-e. And who initiated the chanting of Shoshin-e for daily service? It was initiated by the eighth spiritual leader of our Honganji tradition, Rennyo Shonin. So Rennyo Shonin encouraged the chanting of Shoshin-e to make a distinction between other Buddhist schools. And he thought that only the saying of the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, could not be distinct from other schools, such as Jodo-shu and Jishu, because they also say the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So by chanting Shoshin-e, Rennyo Shonin thought the Honganji could reveal what the Nembutsu teaching was. So Rennyo Shonin initiated chanting of Shoshin-e at each morning. So this is about a brief introduction of Shoshin-e. And before I go into the contents of Shoshin-e, if you have any questions, please let me know.
Is there any movement or any possibility of learning how to chant the Shoshin-e in English?
In English, we always chant Shoshin-e with the original text. And if you are interested in, Umeji Sensei is having a Shoshin-e chanting service once a month. Yeah, so you are always invited to join. Next week? Next Saturday? What time? 9 a.m. So can you Zoom? Yeah, with John. Yeah. Are you okay, John? Okay. Any other comments or questions up to this point? Hey, Nadine.
What's the difference between Sofu and Gyofu style?
Oh, the melody is very different. Yeah. We usually chant soft style, but do you have a monthly Gomei Nichiko or monthly memorial service? Which melody you use to chant? Gyofu, I guess. Iwara sensei, Gyofu desu ka? Yeah, that's a Gyofu style. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Then I wish to talk about little bit about the contents, Shoshin-e. And this is the first two sentences. Kimyo Muryo Junorai Namo Fukashi Ko. In English, I take refuge in the Tathagata of immeasurable life. I entrust myself to the Buddha of inconceivable light. And these first two Chinese characters, Kimyo, taking refuge, and Namo, entrusting, the same meaning. So Buddhism came from India, so original word is always go back to Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, it is called namas. And namas means entrusting and taking refuge. If namas is translated into Chinese, it is called kimyo. But if it is transliterated into Chinese, it is called namo. So kimyo and namo has same meaning, entrusting and taking refuge. We call the Buddha Namo Amida Butsu. What is Amida? This is also in Sanskrit. There are two words, Amita Yusu and Amitabha. Amita, A negates the word that follows. Amita means to be measured. So Amita means not to be measured. So it is translated as infinite and immeasurable. And Amita Yusu, Yusu means life. So Amita Yusu means infinite life. Amitabha, Ba means light. So Amitabha means infinite light. If it is transliterated into Chinese, it is called Amida. So we call Amida. So Amita Yusu means infinite life. Amitabha means infinite light. Muryoju, Muryoko. So Amida Buddha is a Buddha of infinite life and light. There is no limit to life. So it is called infinite life, no limit to time, all the times. Also, there is no limit to light. So Amida is called infinite light, no limit to space. So Amida Buddha is a Buddha who is working to save all beings at all times and in all places. And also Amida Buddha is a Buddha who is working to save all beings with compassion and wisdom. And this is the first line, Kimyo Muryo Junyorai. I take refuge in the Tathagata of immeasurable life. And second line is Namo Fukashi Ko. I entrust myself to the Buddha of inconceivable light. And if you look carefully, these two lines, it is about Namo Amida Butsu. I take refuge and entrust myself to the Buddha of immeasurable life and light. It is about Namo Amida Butsu. And this is an expression of Shinjin and also Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. This is the reason why the title of this hymn is called Shoshin Nembutsuge, True Shinjin and the Nembutsu. And these are, the following sentences. Bodhisattva Dharmakara in his causal stage, under the guidance of Lokesvara Buddha, searched into the origins of the Buddha's Pure Lands and the qualities of those lands and their human beings and devas. He then established the supreme incomparable vow. He made the great vow rare and all-encompassing. In 5 kalpas of profound thoughts, he embraced this vow, then resolved again that the name be heard throughout the 10 quarters. So Shinran Shonin wrote about how the Buddha's vow, primal vow, arose, its origin and fulfillment. It is based on the Sutra of the Buddha of Immeasurable Life. It is called Raja Sutra. And Shinran Shonin said, to reveal the true teaching, it is the Raja Sutra of the Buddha of Immeasurable Life. And this is the origin of the Buddha's primal vow, written in the Raja Sutra. This is the Lokesvara Buddha and Dhammakara Bodhisattva. The Lokesvara Buddha is a teacher of Dhammakara Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva Dhammakara was a king. And he renounced his kingdom, wealth, and status, and undertook practice as a monk named Dhammakara. And he was a bodhisattva who became Amida Buddha, Bodhisattva Dhammakara. And this is a Lokesvara Buddha. He was a Dharma teacher of Bodhisattva Dhammakara. And he was a Buddha who freely saved the people in the world of delusion. And this is written in the Raja Sutra. The Dhammakara Bodhisattva asked teacher, please teach me how to attain perfect enlightenment in this world quickly so I can save those who are suffering. Then the teacher replied, you know what to do. Then Dhammakara asked, it is beyond my conceptual understanding. Therefore, world-honored one, I vow you to explain in detail the practices by which all Buddha Tathagatas established their Pure Lands. After I have heard it, I will practice as taught and fulfill all my aspirations. Then the teacher replied, I understand your noble and high aspirations. I will teach you. Then Dhammakara heard the Buddha's exposition, and having seen all the glorious and pure adornments of those lands, and Dhammakara contemplated the vow on how he can save all sentient beings for 5 kalpas. And I'd like to explain about the 5 kalpas. Kalpa. What is kalpa? So each side of the rock is about 4 times 40 kilometers. So about 160 kilometers or 100 miles. Once every 100 years, a heavenly being strokes the stones on all 4 sides with her feather robe. So eventually, the stone will wear down and disappear completely. So this is called one kalpa. But in case of Dharmakara Bodhisattva, 5 kalpas, so it is very unimaginable long time of period. It is said that even if the rock is completely disappeared, one kalpa will not end. So kalpa is an unimaginable long time of period. So Dhammakara Bodhisattva spent 5 kalpas to contemplate the 48 vows and establish the Pure Land in order to save all beings. So Goko Shiui Shishoju, after contemplating the vow for the 5 kalpas, he adapted the pure practices for the establishment of the Buddha land. So after Dhammakara Bodhisattva heard about practices and all Pure Land established by all Buddhas from his teacher, Lokesvararaja Buddha, he spent 5 kalpas contemplating practices and the Pure Land. And I don't know if you know this afro hair Amida Buddha. Some temple in Japan, this statue is enshrined in the temple altar. But I don't see this statue in the Jodo Shinshu temples. But Jodo school, some temples have this afro hair Amida Buddha. So afro hair Amida Buddha was made to express the Dhammakara's 5 kalpas of profound thought to establish the primal vow to save all beings. So realizing that Buddha spent such a long time for the establishment of the vows, Shinran Shonin expressed his joy and gratitude as follows. It is written in the Tannisho. When I consider deeply the vow of Amida, which arose from the 5 kalpas of profound thought, I realize that it was entirely of the sake of myself alone. Then how I'm filled with gratitude for the primal vow in which Amida resolved to save me, though I'm burdened with such heavy karma. So we tend to hear about Dhammakara Bodhisattva in the Raja Sutra as a mere story, but it is very, very important for us to hear the story as if Shakyamuni Buddha is now expanding the teaching of the Buddha's primal vow to us on why the Bodhisattva Dhammakara became Amida Buddha for us to be saved, and how the Buddha's primal vow is currently working on us. So Dhammakara contemplated the vow for 5 kalpas and established the 48 vows to save all beings equally. And to fulfill the vow, Dhammakara further practiced unimaginable a long time or period, and finally became Amida Buddha. And after Shinran Shonin teaches us about the primal vow, this is written in the Shoshinge, Jusei Myosho Monjippo, then resolved again that the name be heard through the 10 quarters. So we always chant Jusege. I don't know about the gardener, but every Sunday we chant Jusege. And sometimes members ask me why we always chant the Jusege. And they say because it is very short. But it is not so. Jusege is very, very important chanting. So in the Raja Sutra, after proclaiming 48 vows, Dharmakara Bodhisattva restated the importance of that name. So this is a phrase of the Jusege. When I have filled the Buddha way, my name shall prevail the 10 quarters. Should there be any place it is not hard, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. And this was written based on the 17th vow. If when I attain Buddhahood, the countless Buddhas throughout the world in the 10 quarters should not all glorify and praise my name, may I not attain the perfect enlightenment. This is one of the vows of the 48 vows. For example, this is myself, I, Koho Takata. My grandparents already passed away, but they call me, this is my grandchild. My parents call me, this is my child, my son. My wife call me, this is my husband. And my daughters call me, this is my father. So I'm called by different names by my family members, but my body is the same, Koho Takata. And this is the same with Buddha's name. This is the Buddha's name, Namo Amidabutsu. If the Buddha's name, Namo Amidabutsu, the wisdom and compassion is Buddha's side, it is called Myogo. But the Namo Amidabutsu, when Namo Amidabutsu reach our mind, when we accept, it is called Shinjin, or true entrusting mind. If Namo Amidabutsu coming out from our mouth, it is called Nembutsu. But they are called different names, Myogo, Shinjin, Nembutsu. But the body is always same, Namo Amidabutsu, the Buddha's infinite wisdom and compassion. And the name Namo Amidabutsu embodying the primal vow. I was transferred to this temple about 4 or 5 years ago. It was still pandemic. And our temple started to deliver the care package every other month to over 80 years old. So temple wished to reach out to elders, and we prepared care package. We have sometimes food and toilet papers, sanitized goods, etc. The contents of the care packages is not only the goods, but also full of concern, love, and caring mind to our temple members. And when we deliver the care package, the members say, "Arigato, thank you very much." Even they send thank you letter with the donations to the temple. And Amida Buddha is same like this. Bodhisattva Dharmakara fulfilled 48 vows and became Amida Buddha to save all sentient beings at all times and in all places without any discrimination. And the name Namo Amidabutsu embodying the primal vow, infinite wisdom and compassion to save all beings equally, is constantly reaching us. And when we receive the Buddha's caring mind, great compassionate mind, it becomes Shinjin and say Namo Amida Butsu in gratitude. Arigato to the Buddha, expression of our gratitude and appreciation to Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. I'd like to take a break, maybe 5 minutes. So maybe we can start 1:45. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to continue the Shoshinge. And this is the next phrase. 如来勝意公出世、唯説弥陀本願会。Shakyamuni Buddha appeared in this world solely to teach the ocean-like primal vow of Amida. So Shakyamuni Buddha expanded the teaching of Amida Buddha's primal vow, especially in the Raja Sutra. As you know the Buddha's history, life story, after the Buddha attained enlightenment at the age of 35, the Buddha shared the Dharma for 45 years according to the needs of each Sangha's particular situation and each occasion's particular circumstances. So the way the Buddha delivered the Dharma is called Taiki Seppo. Tai means according to, and Ki means being, human beings, sentient beings. And Seppo means deliver the Dharma. So each person has a different suffering, affliction. So each Sangha's particular situation, the Buddha delivers the Dharma. And also it is called Obyo Yoraku. O means according to, Byo means sick, and Yo means pride, and Raku means pleasure. So if we have a stomach or a headache, each person receives the different medicine from the doctor. So this is the way Shakyamuni Buddha delivered his Dharma. So because of the Buddha's deliverance of the Dharma, there are many teachings. It is called 84,000 Dharma gates. So Buddha delivers various sutra. So Shakyamuni Buddha delivered many teachings, 84,000 teachings. And what teaching did Buddha want to expand the most? It is the Sutra of the Buddha of Immeasurable Life, the Raja Sutra. So Shinran Shonin said, to reveal the true teaching, it is the Raja Sutra of the Buddha of Immeasurable Life. So as I mentioned earlier, Shakyamuni Buddha expanded this Raja Sutra to expand the teaching of Amida's primal vow. And primal vow is called Hongan. So our temple is called Honganji, the temple of primal vow. And the primal vow is a basic universal vow or aspiration. And the primal vow signifies two kinds of vows. One is called the general vow, Sogan. All bodhisattvas possess same vows. So when bodhisattvas of the Mahayana tradition walk the path to Buddhahood, their vow is not only to seek awakening for themselves, but for all beings to attain Buddhahood. So the vow must benefit others in addition to the self. And as you know, there are two kinds of Buddhism, Hinayana Buddhism and Mahayana Buddhism. This is a Sanskrit word. Hina means small, and Yana means vehicle. So Hinayana means benefiting oneself. On the other hand, Mahayana, Maha means great, Yana means vehicle, great vehicle. It means benefiting oneself and also others. And this basic vow is called the four bodhisattva vows. I vow to save all beings. I vow to renounce all worldly desires. I vow to learn all the teachings. I vow to attain perfect enlightenment. So when Gautama Siddhartha decided to renounce from the worldly life, he also possessed the 4 bodhisattva vows. The second vow is called the separate vow. So all bodhisattvas possess their own special vows. Gautama Siddhartha, who became Shakyamuni Buddha, has his own separate vows, which are referred to the 500 vows. And in case of Bodhisattva Dharmakara, who became Amida Buddha, has 48 vows. So each bodhisattva has separate vow. And in case of the Bodhisattva Dharmakara, it is written in the Raja Sutra, he established the 48 vows. And central vow is the 18th vow. And the 18th vow is called the vow which is the primal of the Buddha's salvation. So it is often called the primal vow. But Hongan's Hon is also translated as original or fundamental. So Hongan is also translated as original vow or fundamental vow. So this is the Hanamatsuri, the Buddha's birth. Prince Siddhartha Gautama was born on the April 8th. And he delivered the 4 Noble Truths and 8 Paths. And if we carefully reflect upon the life of Shakyamuni Buddha and his teaching, we may realize that the number of 4 and 8 are often used. Many Buddhists think Shakyamuni's major teaching is the 4 Noble Truths and 8 Paths. But the Buddha appeared in this world to expand the 48 vows in the Raja Sutra. So the true intent of Shakyamuni Buddha's appearance in this world is to solely to expand the teaching of Amida's primal vow, 48 vows. And primal vow is to save all beings from this world of suffering at all times and in all places, without any exception. And it is said the Buddha delivered many teachings which represent the Buddha's wish to save all beings. And Shinran Shonin often uses the word ocean as a metaphor in many of his writings. And this is a picture where Shinran Shonin landed when he was exiled to Niigata Prefecture, Kotagahama. But in the Shoshinge, there is a phrase, ocean-like primal vow of Amida. So the primal vow of Amida Buddha is to save all sentient beings, and it was likened to the deep and wide ocean. And this is a saying of one of the professor, Kakehashi Sensei. Only Amida Buddha, who has bottomless compassion, like an ocean, can save us who have bottomless suffering and afflictions like an ocean. So Shinran Shonin often talk about ocean like Amida Buddha's primal vow, great compassionate mind, also our suffering, and affliction. The next phrase, we, an ocean of beings in an evil age of 5 defilements, should entrust ourselves to the Tathagata's words of truth. So Shinra Shonin teaches us the reason why the Buddha appeared in this world and expanded the teaching of the Buddha's primal vow was to save all sentient beings in this samsara. In an evil age of 5 defilements, our age, time is defiled. Also, the world, space is defiled. And also people, beings who live in this world at this age are also defiled. So the Buddha is talking about here and now. Defiled land, samsara, the world of suffering. As we read the news, watch news, we may notice age is defiled, world is defiled, people are defiled. And ocean of beings, Shinra Shonin used the phrase, all beings who live in this defiled land with possessing suffering and affliction. Ocean likened all beings who live in this defiled land. It is because of our desires, blind passions. And this is some phrase Shinra Shonin wrote. Shinra Shonin said in the Tanisho, for it is about to save the person whose karmic evil is deep and grave, and whose blind passions abound. It is impossible for us who are possessed of blind passions to free ourselves from birth and death through any practice whatever. Following at this, Amida made the vow, the essential intent of which is the evil person's attainment of Buddhahood. The Buddha, knowing this beforehand, called us, foolish beings possessed of blind passions, thus becoming aware that the compassionate vow of other power is indeed for the sake of ourselves, who are such beings. So Amida Buddha's primal vow was for foolish beings possessed full of blind passions. And Shinra Shonin said, what is blind passions? We are full of ignorance and blind passions. Our desires are countless, and anger, wrath, jealousy, and envy are overwhelming, arising without pause to the very last moment of life. They do not cease or disappear or expose themselves. So it is called bonno. Bon means torment the body. No means distress the mind. So Shonin said, blind passions refers to pains which torment the body, and affliction which distress the heart and mind. And probably many of you know this Chinese character. It is called watashi, I. Watashi means I. And blind passion is often referred to as 3 poisons: greed, anger, and ignorance. And this character, I, has 3 poison arrows. One is called greed. If it is convenient for us, we become greedy. A second poison arrow is anger. On the other hand, if it is not convenient for us to accept, we become upset. And third poison arrow is ignorance. Even though we are suffering with greed, anger, hatred, etc., we don't realize our foolish nature. But if we can remove these 3 poison arrows, what happens? First poison arrow, greed, anger, then ignorance. This character is called Buddha. So if we can remove our 3 poisons, blind passions, we can become a Buddha. But as Shinran Shonin said, until the moment we die, we always carry 3 poisons. So it is because our blind passions are so deeply rooted in us that this Amida became a Buddha. So foolish beings who cannot be free from their blind passions are the ones who are the object of Amida Buddha's salvation. We can realize Nirvana. And Nirvana is the goal of Buddhist life, the blowing out of the flame of blind passions and the extinction of the ignorant self. It is a state of being free from any suffering. Like lighting the candle, burning the flame of blind passions, blowing out the flame of blind passions. These are state of samsara and nirvana. So foolish beings who cannot be free from their blind passions are the ones who are the object of the Buddha's salvation. So Shinran Shonin said, Nirvana is attained without severing blind passions. If we go to other Buddhist schools, they try to free from blind passions to attain enlightenment. But in case of our Jodo Shinshu school, Shinran Shonin emphasized Nirvana is attained without severing blind passions. So in the Shoshinge, Shinran Shonin teaches us about Shakyamuni Buddha's appearance in this world. Why the Buddha appeared in this world is to solely to teach the Buddha's primal vow. Then he talked about benefit of Shinjin, 5 benefits. Then he talked about admonishment of self-power. But today we don't have time, so I just want to focus on one of the benefits of Shinjin. One attain nirvana without severing blind passions. It normally doesn't happen, as I mentioned earlier. If you go to other schools, they try to free from blind passions. Those who have received Shinjin through entrusting mind from Amida Buddha will reach nirvana through the primal power of the Buddha, even though they possess blind passions. And this is an analogy of a ship and a stone. As you know, a stone has the nature of sinking in the water. A stone that has the nature of sinking in the water is carried by a ship without changing the nature. So we will be born in the Pure Land without severing our blind passions through Amida Buddha's primal power. I who possess blind passions will be born in the Pure Land as I am. We are carried by the Buddha. The stone has a nature to sink in the water because it is heavy. So to carry the stone, we need a gigantic ship. The nature of the heavy stone remains the same and is carried by the power of the ship. And this heavy stone represents our heavy karmic evil, foolish nature. And this ship represents the Buddha's primal vow to save all beings, even though we carry the foolishness, blind passions. And this stone represents Namo. I always carry my evil nature. But when I receive the Buddha's sincere mind and accept, I am carried by Amida Buddha, the gigantic ship, the primal vow of Amida Buddha. And this is another analogy written in the Kyogyo Shinsho. There are 7 kids. Every child is cute, mother said. So parental love is always equal. But this child became seriously ill. This child worries me the most. Parents' love is equal to every child, but it is put more heavily, especially towards a sick child. The Shinra-shoni emphasized that even though who possess blind passions are saved by the Buddha's primal vow, we always carry evilness, foolishness, etc. But we are the most concerned by the Buddha. So the Buddha's compassion is first directed to ignorant, foolish beings who are evil persons and suffer with full of blind passions. And this is the essence of the Buddha's compassion. And the person who accepts the teaching of evil person is filled with a mind of apology. I'm very sorry I carry many blind passions, foolishness, evilness, etc. A mind of great joy. Although I have many defiled passions, I am saved by Amida Buddha as I am. A mind of gratitude to the Buddha's benevolence. Because of the Amida's primal vow, I am saved. And this is another analogy. I just returned from Japan, and this season is very famous with persimmon. My family temple has a persimmon tree, but it is not sweet. So after taking the bitter persimmons from the tree, we need to hang them with a rope until they become dry. And the most important thing to make sweet persimmon is the light of the sun. The most important thing about making sweet hoshigaki is that the bitter persimmons must have a lot of sunlight. The bitter taste turns very sweet by drying or dehydrating. But the bitterness of the persimmon was not removed to make it sweet. Due to the sun's light, the bitterness naturally transformed into sweetness. And this is very similar to our evil nature, in which we are naturally transformed by the light of wisdom and compassion of the Buddha to beings who will attain enlightenment at the end of life while we keep possessing our evil nature. So bitter persimmon needs a sun's light. Bitter persimmon becomes sweet without removing bitterness, its nature. Bitter persimmon represents our blind passions. Sun's light represents Buddha's light of wisdom. And bitter persimmon becomes sweet, represents foolish beings attains nirvana without severing blind passions. By receiving the light of wisdom, listening to the Buddha Dharma, our evil and foolish nature do not disappear, but rather we are transformed into a being who can sense the working of wisdom and compassion of the Buddha and express our gratitude, appreciation to the Buddha's benevolence, for we are certainly saved by Amida as we are. So this is one of the Myokonin. Saichi Asahara said, I don't give you any of my evil nature because it is a cause of my joy to attain enlightenment. So because of my evil nature, the Dharmakara Bodhisattva became Amida Buddha to save me. And Srila Shonin appreciated that the purpose of the primal vow is the salvation for evil persons. I shared this earlier. When I consider deeply the vow of Amida, which arose from 5 kalpas of profound thought, I realized that it was entirely for the sake of myself alone. Then how I'm filled with gratitude for the primal vow, in which Amida resolved to save me, though I'm burdened with such heavy karma. So Srila Shonin truly appreciated the Buddha's primal vow, which was established to save evil people, such as those who possess blind passions, and he expressed his realization that he himself was the most evil of all. So I just talk about one of the benefits of Shinjin. Lastly, I'd like to talk about admonishment of self-power. I guess everybody eats sushi. In this Sote Japan town, there are many sushi restaurants. Probably among the foreigners, that there are many people like omakase sushi. Omakase? Omakase is if you go to sushi restaurant, the chef, everything live up to chef. And if chef gives you sushi, you eat as it is. So sometimes chef already put the shoyu on the fish. But many foreigners want to place sushi into their shoyu sauce, soy sauce. I don't know why the foreigners put soy sauce, full of soy sauce, like swimming pool. But supposed to eat as it is. If chef already put the shoyu on the fish, we just eat as it is. And sometimes I see the foreign people eat fish and rice separately. So I always think they don't need to go to sushi restaurant. They can just eat sashimi and the rice. But we're supposed to eat as it is. And sometimes people break in half. But eat sushi as it is, as prepared by the chef. This is the same way Amida Buddha's primal vow. Receive the Buddha Dharma as it is, as delivered by the Buddha, without any our calculation, free of self-power and doubt. Wholeheartedly entrust and rely on Amida Buddha. And this is the meaning of the first two phrases, Kimyo Muryo Jinyorai, Namo Fukashi Niko. And Shinra-shonin likened Amida's primal vow to the working of a magnet in his Kyogyo Shinsho. It is like a magnet, for it draws to itself the virtues originating from the primal vow. So there are many kinds of nails: new nail, old nails, straight, long, short, gold, etc. There are many kinds of nails. But if there is a big magnet, all attracted to the magnet. So magnet represents Amida Buddha. So these nails are like sentient beings. We are all saved by Amida Buddha, without any exception. All the nails are attracted to the magnet without any exception. All the nails are moved by the power of the magnet, and the moving of the nails is not made by their works. All the nails are naturally moved by the power of the magnet. So we are saved by Amida Buddha. It is not due to our own efforts and works, such as making effort to achieve difficult practice or follow the precepts. The power of Hongan, the working of Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion, enables all beings to be saved by the Buddha, as we are, like all kinds of nails, attracted to the magnet without any exceptions by the power of the magnet. So Shinran-shonin totally denied our self-power effort. Everything lived up to Amida Buddha. And this is a next chapter, but this is kind of conclusion. We don't have time. So the teaching of Amida's primal vow was transmitted to Shinran-shonin by Shakyamuni Buddha and the seven masters from India to Japan. And finally, it reaches to us. Originally, Shakyamuni Buddha, masters from India and China and Japan and Shinran-shonin, and many ministers, members, and finally reach me. And this is a very last phrase of Shoshin-e. With the same mind, all people of the present, who is a monk or lay, should rely wholly on the teaching of these venerable masters. As I mentioned earlier, Shoshin-e is made of two hymns, hymn based on the Raja Sutra and also commentaries of the Seven Masters. Based on the Raja Sutra, there is a phrase, should entrust ourselves to the Tathagata's words of truth, Shakyamuni Buddha's Raja Sutra. And this is the last phrase of Shoshinge, Yuika Shinshi Koso Setsu, should rely fully on the teaching of these venerable masters. So first, Raja Sutra means Amida Buddha's primal vow. So Shinran Shonin encouraged us to rely on the Raja Sutra and commentaries on the Seven Masters without any doubts. And as I mentioned earlier, first two sentences are expression of Shinjin, Kimyo Muryo Jinyorai Namo Fuka Shingi Ko. It means Namo Amida Butsu. And the encouragement of turn our mind to Shinjin, turn our self-power mind to Buddha-centered mind, should entrust ourselves to the Tathagatas of words of truth, and should rely wholly on the teaching of these venerable masters. So this ends my presentation for today. But by learning Shoshinge, I hope we could deepen our appreciation to Shakyamuni Buddha and the Seven Masters who expanded the teaching of Amida's primal vow. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, we have about 10 minutes, or any comments. Hi, John.
Greetings. So, as far as being aware of our evil nature, I've never heard of what you referenced as far as the mind of apology. Could you say another word about that? And I'm assuming that that doesn't mean that it should be associated with a feeling of guilt.
Mind of apology, it is called Zangi, written by Shinran Shonin. By hearing the teaching of Amida Buddha's primal vow, why the Buddha established the primal vow to save me. If I truly know my true nature, who I am, that's, that naturally my apologies, mind of apologies comes out. Is this reply to your question?
Yes, but I'm asking, that doesn't necessarily mean that that should be associated with a feeling of guilt, which could be a problem if the person sort of develops a sense of self-hate or negative feelings about himself because of what's being taught. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, as you know, the Buddha's love and compassion is unconditional. So Buddha never expects us to, the apologies. But, the mind of apologies come out from our mind if we sincerely receive and accept the Buddha's sincere mind. Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Two quick questions.
Oh,
So the people on Zoom can hear you. Oh. Use the mic.
Okay, is it on? Okay. So I had two short questions. One, you talked about the two ways of chanting Shoshinge. Which one is the one that's based on Junidai's chanting? We do it by Is that a third way, or is that one of the two?
Yeah, it is. Actually, there are many ways to chant Shoshinge.
Okay.
I introduced Sofu style, Gyofu style on the 16th monthly memorial service, and Shimpu style, actually memorial day of Shinran Shonin, January 16th. But Juninairism is chanted anytime. It is called Shoshinge Saho, another way of chanting, another melody.
It's a third way. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the fourth way?
Fourth way.
Okay. Because I know we've done Juninai version, and I thought, I wonder if one of those two is Juninai version. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Next question, also a very quick question. You talked about the kalpa, and you showed how they swing down, and eventually, after they finish, it's one kalpa.
Oh.
Does that mean each kalpa could be a different time, or is it like an average time it takes to do that is one kalpa?
Oh.
If I had a big block of ice with a spoon and did this, it'll take so many minutes, hours, whatever. But then second time I do it, it'll take a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. So I was wondering if one kalpa is actually specifically a set time, or is it based on an average time of how long it takes to do that?
No, it is just to show, the unimaginable time. Yeah.
Okay.
Not specific time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? If not, I like to conclude today's seminar. Thank you very much for coming, and let us recite the Buddha's name. Namo Amida Butsu, Namman Dautsu, Namman Dautsu, Namman Dautsu, Namman Dautsu. Thank you very much.